Welcome back. In today's session, we're going to continue our discussion about the 7 rules that are important for going from acne sufferer to acne survivor. And we're going to focus on rule number 4 today. Now, rule number 4 is one of the most important and also one of the most difficult rules to get past on our quest to become an acne survivor. So it's important to understand the concepts that I'm going to discuss today. Rule number 4 is avoid the noise. So what do I mean by this? What do I mean by noise? So noise is how I refer to all of the things that you're confronted with when you finally make the decision that you're going to try to heal your acne. So let's say you are an acne sufferer and you decide, I'm going to start looking for the right solution to finally achieve my clear skin goal. So what's one of the first things you might do? Well, you might go on the internet and you might search best acne treatment. So when you do that, you get a lot of websites and advertisements that come up, and they promise to have this product or that face wash or this cream or this skincare regimen. It's going to completely clear your skin. You'll start with terrible, problematic acne, and you'll end up with completely clear skin if you use this particular product or that particular product. So that's very common. And you'll find that in magazines, you might see an ad showing a very slick before and after picture of a patient with very prominent acne breakouts. And then they use the product that is being promoted by that company, and then the after picture shows completely clear skin. You might find that on cable when you're watching cable and you see an infomercial, and the infomercial has many people that they interview that have had very bad acne, and they show you pictures of when they had very bad acne, and then they use the product or the regimen that that company is promoting, and lo and behold, they achieve completely clear complexions. Everything magically disappeared, and their quality of life has returned to normal now. So these are things that you're confronted with. Now, think about it. If you're really suffering with acne, you're probably having various emotional consequences, maybe low self-esteem, maybe low self-confidence, and you're really desperate to find a solution. You're searching very hard for the right thing that's going to help you to get better finally. So when you're confronted with all of these different empty promises, they can be convincing at first. You may not realize that they're empty promises. You may think that, why not try this? So you end up ordering a lot of different products. And I have patients coming into my office all the time with a bag of products, and they show me they ordered this one online, they got that one, they ordered the other one, and they just don't work. And actually some of them make their skin more irritated and red and dry. So it's a difficult idea to conceptualize when you're already caught up with your emotions and your feelings and your desperation, and you don't know. How would you know if those products are going to help you or not? It says that they're going to help you. The companies have, they'll show before and afters, and they'll interview a lot of people, and they'll show that it's so effective. But the reality is the likelihood that one of those products is going to actually help you to go from acne sufferer to acne survivor is very unlikely. So let's say that maybe even you use some of those products, but after a little while you decide they're not really helping me. What's the next step? So the next step, logically, you might think would be, let's go to the doctor. So that makes sense because the doctor is more official. The doctor can prescribe medicines that must be effective because they've been approved by the FDA. So maybe that's the next step. And it's a good step to take. But are you really getting out of the way of the noise? Let's find out. So you go to the doctor. You say, doctor, I've had this acne and it's been bothering me. I've tried a lot of things. Nothing has helped. Can you please help me? I'm desperate. So your general doctor looks at you and says, sure, let me give you some prescriptions. And he or she gives you some prescriptions, maybe some topical medicines, maybe even a pill. and says, why don't you use this and see me again in 3 months and we'll see how you're doing. So you take the prescriptions, you go to the pharmacy, you start using them, and you're feeling better now because now this is more official. You went to the doctor, you got real prescriptions, so this should be the answer to your problem. So you go and you use those products, and you come back 3 months later, and unfortunately you're not much better. And you tell the doctor, doctor, I used the things that you said, they just didn't help me at all. As a matter of fact, some of the creams that you gave me, they made my skin sensitive and red and uncomfortable, and I even think some of them made my acne worse. So that's a common scenario. How come that happened? How could that be noise? That's the doctor giving you prescriptions that are approved by the FDA. Well, the reason that it's noise is, and you have to think about this, and this is why so many acne sufferers get tripped up here, because you have to really think long and hard and understand, and when something doesn't work, you have to try to move past it. And so it can really trip up anybody, and anyone can get tripped up in this type of a scenario, and it does trip up almost everybody. Even acne survivors get tripped up in this swirl of noise until they finally are able to break out and realize a different path forward. So the reason that it's noise is because the general doctor, he's not really an acne specialist. And think about what he's doing mostly in his practice or her practice. The general doctors are usually treating blood pressure, diabetes, other conditions, cholesterol, other issues that are more in line with what they were trained to do. Now, can they treat acne? Yes, they do have some knowledge of that, but they're probably not as knowledgeable as somebody who was trained specifically in treating that condition. And the treatments that they give you are probably the same treatments that the 10 patients prior to you that had acne were given too, because a doctor gets comfortable with certain treatments and he or she tends to use those treatments over and over again. And remember that acne is not a one-size-fits-all condition. Acne is a condition that is different for each person experiencing it. So you have to be able to prescribe the right treatment that fits the circumstances for that particular patient. So that's why oftentimes you're not gaining the improvement that you want to gain by going to the general doctor as your first step. So what do you do next? How do you get through the noise then? So you might say, well then let's go to the dermatologist. The dermatologist is a skin specialist, so there I should get the right treatment for me. There shouldn't be any noise in the dermatologist's office. So you make your appointment, you go to see the dermatologist. So the office is busy, and you find yourself sitting next to somebody who's coming for a skin cancer treatment and somebody else who might be coming for a popular cosmetic treatment, or maybe somebody developed an emergency rash that needs to be seen. So the dermatologist is handling all of these different conditions. And you come in with acne. So that's just a different condition, another condition that the dermatologist is treating. So there's a good chance that the dermatologist doesn't really specialize in treating acne, even though the dermatologist has been trained in treating acne and it's part of what dermatologists do. Think about it. Each doctor kind of has a specialty that doctor likes to treat and maybe is more focused on treating that particular condition. For example, if you go to the cardiologist might be able to treat one type of heart condition, but if you have a different type, that cardiologist may not be able to treat that, and you might need to see a different type of cardiologist. So doctors are very hyper-specialized. So even though you're seeing a cardiologist for your heart, you may have a heart condition that cardiologist just isn't capable of treating, and you might be referred to a cardiologist that really specializes and focuses on that particular heart condition. It's the same with acne, the same with dermatology. So if you want to get the best treatment for your acne, then you want to see a dermatologist that hyper specializes in treating acne. And there are dermatologists that specialize in treating acne, whereas others specialize in just treating cosmetics, others just do surgeries, others just treat skin cancers, and they very rarely treat conditions like acne. So you don't want to get caught in that type of scenario because that would just be contributing to the noise. So you see how tricky the noise is. The noise can find itself even in the office of a dermatologist. You can find noise. So you have to be very careful to try and tease out the areas where you don't want to find yourself getting caught, and try to focus on the pathway where you're going to achieve the best results. Now, there's a test that I refer to as the mirror test that you can use that can help you identify whether or not you're getting tripped up in the noise or you're actually moving forward to become an acne survivor. So the mirror test can be very useful if you find yourself in any doctor's office to help treat your acne. So here's how it works. The mirror test. So let's say you have significant acne breakouts. So a typical patient with significant acne breakouts can have many acne breakouts on the face. So let's just pick 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So this patient has 30 pimples. This acne sufferer is very unhappy. And they're going to the doctor to get better. So they come in with 30 pimples and they go to the doctor. It could be a general doctor, it could be a dermatologist, and they say, "Doctor, please help me. I need to treat my acne and heal my acne." So the doctor thinks, well, we have different treatments for this, and the doctor may give you a treatment that might be considered effective by the FDA. So how could you go wrong? So let's say the treatment that the doctor gives you can lead to 50% improvement. 50% improvement. So that's pretty good. Most of the treatments approved by the FDA aren't even that effective. But let's say you get one that's 50% improvement. It can make you 50% better. That's a pretty significant change. So what does that mean? So now you use this treatment, you go home, you use it for the period of time that the doctor said to use it, and you come back. So let's say you achieve 50% improvement. How many pimples do you have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because you got 50% better. So now you have 15 pimples. So the treatment was successful. The dermatologist or the doctor gave you a treatment that actually was completely successful. It achieved what it was supposed to achieve. But how about you? How do you feel? Most likely, you're still pretty sad. And this is common. I see patients, they come in, and when they see me for the first time, they'll have gone to other doctors a lot of times, and they'll say, "The doctor gave me this initially," and I'll ask, "Did it help you?" And they'll say, "Yes." And then I'll say, "Did it help you enough where you were happy with the result?" And they'll say, "No." Because yes, it helped them. This is them. This is the patient that I'm talking to. Yes, it helped them, but they're still sad because it didn't help them enough to make them happy. And that's because they're using a treatment that wasn't going to get them there in the first place. And I call this the mirror test, because if you look in the mirror, you don't really need to know that this is giving you 50% improvement or 30% improvement or 60% improvement. All you have to know is that if you look in the mirror, are you going to be happy or not? So the mirror doesn't lie. The mirror tells it as it is. The mirror breaks through the noise. The mirror is a tool that you can use that can break right through the noise, because if you tell your doctor, "Doctor, if I use this treatment that you're prescribing to me, and I look in the mirror in 3 months from now, what am I going to look like? Am I going to be happy, or am I going to still be sad? Am I going to have clear skin, or am I going to still have breakouts? And by going through this exercise and using this mirror tool, you can, right from the get-go, you can avoid a lot of the wasted time that you would otherwise experience because of the noise. So don't forget this, and always keep this in mind, and keep focused, because the noise can be very tricky, and it can trip up even the most sophisticated people that are understanding a lot of the things that are happening, and they understand that some of these things are not working, and they try to break through, but every time they get to the next treatment option, they have to go through the same exercise. The noise strikes again and again and again. So you always have to be on guard. You always have to be thinking to yourself, is this treatment the right one? Is it working, or is it not working? Is it gonna work? And that's where the mirror test comes in. Just always ask yourself, if I look in the mirror, am I gonna end up with a smile when this is over? And that's what you wanna strive for. And that's what you should communicate to your doctor as you're going through the process to achieve acne survivor status.